LeBron James goes on record in an interview and states that with or without Miami, and I'm just paraphrasing because I don't have the direct quote right in front of me, but I will put it up on the screen. But all in all, just to summarize, LeBron James basically said that, with or without Miami, he would have still been the same dominant player, probably less rings. No, brother, no rings. You wouldn't have had no rings had you not went to Miami. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a bad. Let's keep it a bean, boy. Had you not went to Miami, you know what life would have been like. You know what life was like before you went to Miami. You was getting destroyed in the Eastern Conference Finals by the Orlando Magic when you already had finals experience. You already advanced to the NBA Finals in '07. They gave you a pass, said you ain't have no help. You lost to the Orlando Magic. You had this young nucleus who they've never been to the finals before. You robbed us of the moment of the battle between you and Kobe Bryant. Then the following year after that, you got destroyed again and embarrassed by the Boston Celtics. Instead of staying with the franchise and them constantly saying you didn't have no help, although you had the best record in the league the year before, and they was constantly giving you complimentary players that suits your style. You don't make the players around you better. So you went to Miami, and yes, you would have still been a great player, but would you have been the LeBron James, the villain LeBron James? This is where you develop the, not giving an F mentality. This is the most important thing about LeBron James going to Miami. Had you not went to Miami, you would have never learned about the biogenics lab. You wouldn't have mastered going to the biogenics lab, allegedly. There would be no LeBron James on steroids, allegedly, had you not went to Miami. LeBron James already doesn't have a bag. So can you just imagine LeBron James' career before Miami without the steroids, allegedly, without the PEDs, allegedly? He has no ball handling skills. He's not even a really great three-point shooter. Just imagine if he was still in Cleveland and didn't have the talent that he had around him, and he started to lose his athleticism. He wouldn't have been able to fly past players. His footwork in the post isn't that great. So just imagine had LeBron James never got on performance enhancement drugs. So this dominant player that you speak of when it never existed had you not went to Miami. Because you wouldn't have been able to dip your shoulder and bulldoze into players had you not went there. You got guarded by a smaller J.J. Barea, what made you go to the biogenics lab, allegedly. You wouldn't have been able to, use your weight and use your muscles and, try to, overpower players, try to bully players in the post, bully small guys in the post. So you wouldn't have been this dominant player. Look at the muscular tone. Look at the muscle mass that LeBron James put on from the time he was in Cleveland, when he initially arrived to Miami, and then a few years after that, maybe a year or two after that, LeBron James became Arnold LeBroninator. He became the LeBrominator. Looked like a physical beast. And then they came up with this talking point, this narrative that LeBron James spends $1 million on his body. The cheapest man of all time spends $1 million on his body. That's his lifestyle, allegedly. But like I said, had he not went to Miami, he wouldn't have learned about the undetectable steroids, allegedly, the performance enhancement drugs. You wouldn't even be up to where you are now in your career had you not been on the performance enhancement drugs, allegedly. So you should be thanking Miami and the Miami Heat fan base. You should be thanking Pat Riley for welcoming you with open arms. You should be appreciative. Without Miami, LeBron James would have 0 rings, bro. Had you stayed in Cleveland, You don't know how to make the players around you better. Because guess what? You don't go to Miami. You don't get Kyrie Irving. Simple as that. And guess what? More than likely, no stars would have joined you in Cleveland. People don't want to give Mike Brown any credit. But look at the phenomenal job he's done with the Sacramento Kings. So LeBron James is trying to discredit. This is where the arrogance comes in at. This is where the arrogance come in at, and people can't stand LeBron James. Because now LeBron is pretty much trying to overcompensate now. He's seen that this storyline and he's seen that this was picking up in the news cycle. It was trending. This topic was trending in the news cycle. So he said, let me, double down on what I said. And that's basically what he did. He seen that people was talking about it. So he said, you know what? Yeah, that's right. But LeBron knows that he's not winning any more championships. It's over. He knows that the Denver Nuggets of the world is not going to do nothing but get better, especially after getting final experience. They're riding the momentum right now. The Phoenix Suns just got better. The Sacramento Kings got better. All the elite premier teams, even the Dallas Mavericks, have gotten better. All these teams are getting better out west. So he knows the likelihood of him coming out the west is slim to none. If it wasn't for Ray Allen, Jesus Shuttlesworth, Jesus saving your career, hitting that shot in the finals, you wouldn't have no rings. Had there not been a lockdown in 2012, you more than likely wouldn't have had a ring. Had you went up against anybody else other than the Oklahoma City Thunder, you probably would have lost. We seen what happened in 2011. You had a super team and still lost. They like to compare the Los Angeles Lakers team in 2011 to that Miami Heat super team. So, the Lakers lost in 2011 as well. It's like whenever LeBron James is going down, it's like they got to tear down everybody else. Well, that person did this and that person did that. Like, who cares? We talking about LeBron. LeBron James lost in the 2011 finals. He choked. So without Dwayne Wade, without Miami, you would have been choking your whole entire career. You couldn't even three-peat on a super team. You lost to the San Antonio Spurs. First of all, you got locked up by a small J.J. Barea, embarrassed by Jason Terry. See, LeBron is tooting his own horn because he done already won his championships. How they forget so easily. Had it not been for the bubble, you wouldn't even have a 2020 ring. You wouldn't even have a ring for 2020. You got locked up by a young Kawhi Leonard. Locked up to the point where you at the free throw line, you turn around and say F. Drop the F-bomb. But like I said, you got locked up by a young Kawhi Leonard. Then on top of that, you lost to an old San Antonio Spurs team. Tim Duncan was 37. Manu Ginobili was 35. Tony Parker was 32. So essentially, you lost to an old Spurs team, and their youngest best player was in his early 20s. And you done already had finals experience. They talking about Dwayne Wade was injured and Dwayne Wade was old by then. Like, seriously, bro? The entire Spurs team was old. Do your homework. But it's just easy how LeBron James forget, bro. LeBron James would have 0 rings had he not went to Miami, bro. 0. And more importantly, the most lucky thing that happened to LeBron James is that the NBA vetoed that Chris Paul trade. Because had the Lakers met up against the Miami Heat in the finals, LeBron would still have 0 rings.